Hello there, this is Cindy at cindybdesigns.com. I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. I was sick the entire week and got nothing done, like absolutely nothing that I wanted to do. So it's going to be a busy week for us this week. I am bringing back in the Traditions of Christmas Week collection that's in our holiday catalog for 2025. This is now back in stock, so go ahead and pick it up while you can because it's really super popular. And I think I might use this for our Friday project. I'm not quite sure, but we'll wing it. So we're on full on Christmas mode until I would say maybe Christmas week, which I'm also taking off. Pretty much, maybe Christmas is on a Thursday, so maybe that Tuesday, like the 23rd, until after the beginning of the new year. Spend with friends and family like the rest of us are. So a heads up for that. But in this traditional wreath suite collection, again, you're going to get this beautiful real red ribbon here. Very easy to work with and to tie, which we'll be using all of these products in our cards for today, which are really simple, easy. And I'm going to make these my personal Christmas card because they are that easy. There's a fun fold included and not too much work, just a lot of nice assembly line. So you get this great traditional wreath, embossing folder here, which we're using. You'll see that. These cute little gems, sparkle sequins. 2 stamp sets. We have the greetings one and then the one with all the line art. You can color these, stamp these, all the images fit in, whatever you want to do. And then we have these traditional labels that goes with this. Fantastic. I hope these carry over like last year's did, because these are great labels. And then we have the Christmas greenery. Now remember the solid ones, they are all standalone. So this is standalone, this one, these little berries, the bow, and the leaves, and all of these cut out every single image in here in the stamp set. Plus, this is all my scraps. Let me grab these dies back in. Plus they'll cut images out of the designer series paper too, like this, just in case you don't feel like coloring. And I've really gone through a lot of this cards, the designer series paper, so I don't have too much left, but enough for projects. I'm down to like, 1 sheet of each now pretty much. And then, did you see that? Yeah, you did. And I've gone through this several times before. Let's get the back side. Okay, it's that polka dot there. And then Secret C. And this is what you saw up here. That one. The flip side is this. And then we have this here. Now the colors in the suite collection are, let's see, Cherry Cobbler, Old Olive, Pool Party, Real Red, and Secret Sea, and Gold. So we are going to be doing a really easy fun fold. And, here's my sample cards that I made. And we're doing 3 this time, but it's going to be one of those same design, same products, but we're going to step it up every single time, but I still want to keep it simple too, which I am. Easy fun fold. This is it. We have the embossing folder, a stamp. It's just a simple, a SIP card, stamps, ink and paper. And then you open it, and that is it. And it also stands up for you, so you don't have to worry about that. And then the second one, kind of step it up a little bit. Same thing. Open it up. And then for more of like semi-avid card, a little bit more die cutting, bows and stuff like that. I'm not sure if I'm doing these on screen or not, because you know how I am with bows. And then that is it. Just something really, really easy and simple to do. More ideas on this flap here. Use designer series paper. Let me grab a piece. I put it away. Like if this was right here, I think that would look really cool. Now on the inside of these, this one I forgot to do, which I will do that in a minute. But see how I put that right there? And this is why I did it. So it's a good thing I forgot to do this. I cut some of that designer series paper right there just to cover out that kind of ugly there. If I had put my tape over here, I would have been okay. I didn't do it. I didn't think about it. And then I did the same thing with this just because I had that left over. But with this one, these here, I really needed that to be done. And, again, it looked really nice on the outside too. Just, give it a little bit of something. I'm not going to do that this time around. I may do it with future, I'm going to do it with future cards of, of mine. And that will be like a Saturday afternoon thing real quick just to get out. So to do this card, again, really simple fun fold. This is 8.5 across by 5.5 down. So you're going to get 2 card bases out of each piece of cardstock. And this is basic white thick. And all you want to do is score this at, oh, and I forgot to cut some of that designer series paper up too. Well, I'll do that later to put on the back. You want to do 2 1/8 right there, and then move it over to 4 1/4. And that is it. And how you fold it, it's like you flip it in, turn it in like this, and then fold it back on itself. And then there you have your fun fold. Now to make this easier for me, since we're doing 3 in a row, and if you want to follow along, go ahead and do it. Get your other 2 card bases, cut and scored. And then I have our sentiment already lined up on here. Just Merry Christmas, because I am going to put the same one in 3 times. And I didn't want to, constantly take these images off the Stamparatus and then put them back on. So this is what I mean by how easy it is to mass produce these. So I'm going to lay that down right there. And I already have it lined up from the other cards. And then I'm going to use Real Red, and I'm really glad this pad's inked up. And then get that laid down. Okay, then we have 1. And I want to set those aside to dry, because red can be fussy. And then I'm going to ink it up again. And go ahead and lay that down. And this is what I meant by how easy these are to go ahead and mass produce. You just get everything lined up the way that you want it to, and it will be done in no time at all. So we are going to do this. And that is going to be it for the inside of our cards. We'll get around to decorating them up in a little, in a little while as we're finishing. So I'm going to go ahead and get this cleaned up. And red will stain your stamps. If you get to it right away and then take some of our like StayZone cleaner, which I do a lot, that will come right up. So with that being said, I'm going to get these over to the sink and then get them cleaned up, and then I'll be back and we'll finish the, the rest of the cards and putting them together. To give you an idea of when I took those stamps over to the sink, about how nicely these clean up, I mean, you can just see, you got to take care of it right away. I do this for like reds, blues, and purples. And, this way I can still see through them if I need to. So the next step we want to do to get this right here is that we have a piece of Real Red cardstock, and that is cut down to 4 by 5 1/4. Measurements, everything like that will be over on the blog at cindybdesigns.com. There's a link directly underneath this YouTube description. That'll take you right there. And then for our layer, this is going to be cut down to 3 3/4 by 5. I want to go ahead and run this through the embossing machine, the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, just to get that there. And what you want to do, because there is a place in the middle, is you want to get your cardstock in here. So, like the middle of the wreath is in the middle of your cardstock. And I'm taking a look at that. Excuse me, I'm stumbling over everything today. That looks really good, so I'm going to go ahead and take it through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine off screen because I don't want everything to wiggle on you. All you need is the bottom plate, plate 1, and then plate 4 to emboss, and then pop that through. And you can hear me crank it through. And that is going to be it for this card. So what I want to do now is, okay, I went this way let's go ahead and grab our sentiment. This just for you. And I'm going to pop it down right there in the middle. Now, with this card right here, you see those gold splatters there? I keep, you know how I keep what I consider timeless classics? All I did, and this was several years ago, I got some of our champagne mist, stuck like a paintbrush in there, and just splattered it on there, and that's how I got those accents. We have plenty of other stamps that you can use. For instance, if you wanted to, use those little, you know, hollyberry dots right there and take that around there in real red, whatever ink color that you want. But there's options, you know, well, you can also grab one of our Stampin' Right markers and do that as well, just not in gold. But, you know, again, it's really up to you what you want to do with the inside, you know, how you want to decorate things up. That looks just about right. So I'm going to, whoops. Come on. Once again, I'm going to pull in real red, and hopefully I put that back where I had it. I did. Okay, I got that down. And that is how we look. That's going to get layered on top of here. And then we're almost done with the first card. Now for this one here, I'm not going to take it over to the sink right away because I am going to do this exactly like I did this card here. And okay, that one went flying. Let me grab it. This one here. So I want to just go ahead and get our labels in here and get this over with before I take that over to the sink again. And I'm not going to take it off. I'm just going to make this work for me in a weird way, or at least try to, you know. A little bit over. You know what? I am going to go ahead and dry this off real quick because it's going to be a drag otherwise. And then I'll take it to the sink afterwards. And I'm just doing that to make sure that it's dry all the way, because I did not cut a second one of this, you know, just in case I messed up, which, you know, is always a given. So let's go ahead and get that down right there. Yeah, this is way easier. And you can use any sentiment that you want. This one would be really good for like a gift card or something like that, which, you know, you can also squeeze in there. And I'm going to let this dry, and then we are going to get nah, it's not going to work. And this right here, the sentiments, that is all the stamping that we are doing for this card. So I want to get this guy down right in the middle there. And I swear, I am still, I don't know about you, but I am still full from Thanksgiving. I mean, we had like 2 dinners, I think. One on Thursday and another one on Saturday, but you know, that's what you do for Thanksgiving, you eat, right? Okie dokie, so that is going to be it for these 3 here. You know, again, I do want to take this over to my sink just to get everything rinsed off real well. I also thought about taking this 'Tis the Season too and cutting that up so it'd fit in our sentiment, you know, image, our panels here. But, you know, nah. And am I okay with how that looks without being cleaned? Let's see. Yeah, so you can tell the difference. So I'm going to go ahead and take care of that now, and then I will be right back. So I figured out what I'm going to do on Friday. So be sure to join me. This is going to be super cute. I'm working on this kind of card here, and you're going to open it up, and it like a shopping bag is going to pop up, and you can put a gift certificate in there. You know, super, super flat candy, Probably not a good idea, but I'll figure, you know, I got a ton of candy holders on, you know, on my YouTube channel anyway. But I'm thinking like a shopping bag so you can put a gift card in it or you know, something. And I'm working on that right now. So hopefully it'll turn out okay. So for our first card, we've already, you know, kind of gone over how to get this done. It's really easy. All I'm going to do here is grab some adhesive. Now for our other cards, I've already done the adhesive pretty much for the most part, except for the ribbon because it's going to, come on, it's going to be the same thing over and over and over again. So I'm just going to lay that down on top, you know, that top to bottom, center, left or right thing. Give that a second to set up. Now, you know why I did this in the first place? Because I messed up when I put my tear and tape on the back. I put it on the wrong side. And instead of wasting that entire panel, I thought, you know what? I'm just going to cut a piece of DSP, pop it on down, and then we're fine. And like we talked about earlier, you can put the designer series paper anywhere you want on here. I'd really like to pick apart this stamp set, though, and especially using some of the standalone dies and be able to build like my own leaves and holly berries and things like that. So chances are for Friday, I'm going to be, well, actually, I'm going to be using the same sweet collection just to, you know, go through my stash and everything like that. So while this is setting up and drying, be sure to go over to the blog at cindybdesigns.com. I've got my December card kit ready to go. And that is going to be Brushed with Beauty Sweet Collection, which is beautiful. That came out last month for online exclusives. So for the tear and tape on the back to pop on here, you know, do this first. I know my tape's going to go here because I don't want to mess up this time around. And I'm just going to lay that down. We know that this panel here is going to be 2 1/8, but how I line it up to where it works like this, to where it's seamless and perfect. There's kind of like a cheat to that. I don't know how you guys do it. I just know I do it this way. So I'm going to put, you know, tear and tape, maybe an inch or so apart, if that. 2 of them. I hope if my voice is sounding better because I was so stuffed up. Okay, so I got that down. And still on, anytime I get like just a basic run-of-the-mill cold, it turns into like the plague because of my allergies and just, ugh. Okay, I need to get that peeled off too. And, whoops, get this. Okay, so I want to pull in my card here. Whoa, we knew this was gonna happen, right? And I want to get this lined up. I'm putting these two down on the surface of my desk. And it's just one of those kind of eyeball thingies where you want to make sure that your res cardstock down all the way flat. And then just watch your left and right. And see, that's how easy it pops on. And we don't have any, you know, weird funky overhang or anything like that. Now, all I did with this one is grab this and a paintbrush and just splatter that on. You know, again, super, super easy to do. So that is it for card number 1. So for card number 2, I have everything in here down except for our little sentiment there because I'm going to tie ribbon, which we all know what that's like on screen for me. So I may just end up taking that out a little bit. I already have my tear and tape on the back and this label that we stamped with some dimensionals on the back there. So we are going to get our red ribbon, and for this I want to cut it in half. Because I don't, you know, I don't need the full, I don't know if this is a half or a quarter. Let me check. It's a half. You know, for something like this, I'd rather have like the 1/4 inch. So you just take that and you snip right up the middle. And it's a pretty easy cut. I did that with this card as well too. This ribbon that is on, that was online exclusive. Speaking of which, I know today a Last Chance products in the clearance rack. They've been updated. There's a Paper Pumpkin Cyber Monday thing going on through December 9th. So you want to check that out. And there's a newsletter going out today with all that information. So be sure to sign up for that. I think I am good. I over tie on ribbon a lot. So I'm going to hope that that works out. So I want to get that wound up. And then I got to bring this in. You know, it's my third arm, basically. Make sure everything on the back there is okay. Oh, you know what? And this is where I blew it with the tear and tape the last time around. So we are going to cheat around this. It's, you know, it's an easy cheat. So, be careful about that when you do all of this. Actually, I wanted to tie over there, so I need to move this. Oh man, did I not cut enough? I probably didn't, so I did not. So I think we might end up doing like a little knot on this one, or we'll wing it. Because right now, I want to get this moved down. You know, more so towards the middle there. Okay, I'm good with that. Pop that down, and this is why this is my third arm. And then, you know, grab my basic household Scotch tape. And then pop this down. And this is why I have to put Designer Series paper on the other side. Now, when you do that, you're going to know your margins. It's always going to be 5.5 down, but, you know, the width, that's something that you're going to have to wing for the most part. Okay, good. I did not blow this all the way. So right there in the center, I know I'm going to put this. And so I do want to put like another little piece of you know, tape down. Because I mean, I need that for me. Since I cut this kind of short and, or the ribbon short. And then that way, it'll just make it easier on me. So I'm going to get that down. And if I mess with this for too long, I am going to cut it out, and then you'll see something beautiful at the end. Because I always tie bows. When I do my bows, my tails always end up going the wrong way. And I watch other people do it all the time, and they do it flawlessly. And I'm just like kind of this train wreck over here. Okay, so I might get the tails right this time. And this is where I need to grab my tweezers. So excuse me reaching over there for you. And I hope they don't go flying across towards the magnet there. And you know what? I don't think I'm going to be able to get a bow out of that. As a matter of fact, I know I won't be able to get one. So we are just going to pretend that it's a bow. And that is going to have to do. I mean, it's still okay, right? One way or the other. And I have this right here. I'm going to pull that off. Lay that on top. And then for something like this, you can use, you know, the gold or the red sequins. I'm going to keep it consistent here. And then use gold like I did on my other cards. So I'm just going to pop that up right there. And then we have 3 sizes, you know, the large, the medium, and the small. And we will do this right about here. And then grab a baby one. And right about there, pull our, see, this is where I'm going to cheat big time. Not cheat, just, you know, there's ways to get around stuff like this without having to, you know, pull everything apart. Got that. And then I keep my clip up there, you know, just to help me line everything up. And then we're going to get this popped on top, you know, you want the left, You want the left and right lining up with a nice margin. And then here's our sample, and this is it for card number 2. Super simple. So for card number 3, I just basically done everything that we did for the last one. I cut these 2 out of our gold foil cardstock from this die right here. You know, and again, we have the splatters and everything like that. So this time around, I'm going to definitely pull off enough ribbon here, but I still have this right here. And so we are going to, that should be enough, right? I don't need that much. Okay, I am good with that. And I'm going to get that right down in the middle again. And I'm going to make the same, I'm going to do the same thing I did last time, because I know I'm going to have to pull that off. So we're just going to, whoa. Okay. Get that done. Give that a snip. And you know what? I'm going to do the same thing with a piece of tape there in the middle. And that should cover it up nice, or, you know, get it down nicely. I hope. Let's see how bad we will struggle here with the bow. So I've got my third hand, and now you can do bunny ears or, you know, tie it like you would tie your shoe. It's really up to you. I go back and forth depending on what my ribbon is looking like and how much ribbon I do have. So we will try the bunny ears with this one. And hopefully my tails go straight. If they don't, I will be doing some editing. Okay, they did. See, I could do mine upside down. So I'm going to pull that the way I want to. Whoa. Maybe I should just stop messing with it and be grateful if something turned out on screen, you know? Okay, that is looking good. Let's get those tails off. Okay, I'm going to get this out of the way. So for this one here, all I did was, I'm going to move that up there. I just lined these up pretty much like that. You know, you can crisscross them, do whatever you want. And then I got some of my, I did tape it on the back because I turned it over. You know, because I do want them sticking outside a little bit. Okay, I'm happy with that. I'm pulling back. Okay. I'm pulling back in my tape here. And, you know, this is like really useful, by the way, when you do, well, paper crafting or anything like that. That way you're not using up all your good adhesive, and it does the job. So we've got this third one down, and then I'm going to add Stampin' initials on the back. And these are what they call the bones, like on the side of your Stampin' initials there. You know, use it all up. Let's get that right about there. And then here. I guess we'll do one or two in the middle. You know, that's fine. Let's get rid of the whole thing, okay? But I am going to cut this in half just so it's kind of put it on top and bottom. Okay, that is it for that. Don't need that yet. And if you didn't want to bring the gold in, you know, to embellish with, you know, if you have leftover red foil or anything like that to make it super monochromatic, I think that'd be pretty too. I mean, there's just a ton of options, and you don't have to use the sweet colors for something like this or even anything on it, because you can cut anything out with this. Okay, we're going to get that on there just about like that. And then, you know, once again, I have, yeah, I got to be careful with your tools sometimes. You know, I've got the tear and tape on the back, and I want to get that off before I start embellishing. And then we're going to do the same thing that we have done for the other two. Okay. For the other two cards. That looks right. And get that down, and then pull back in our, well, I almost grabbed the wrong one. Our sequins. Then a middle one up here. And a little baby one over there. And that is it. We are done. This is how simple these cards are. And, you know, I think they're pretty and they're easy to do. Really, really easy to mass produce. And I'll have, you know, still pictures over on the blog with measurements and everything like that. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you have a great week. And I will see you again on Friday for that purse pop-up thingy card, gift card that we're talking about. So feel free to hit like, subscribe, you know, please share, leave a comment, and don't forget to sign up for my newsletter. And I will see you again on Friday.